All right, everyone. So today we're going to be doing Venus in the third house. Let's get started. And I can't believe we're already on the third house. Wow, life is moving fast, man. So Venus in the third house. What is third house? Well, the very most foremost important thing that you need to realize about the third house, it's house of efforts. It's house of self efforts. How much effort are you going to put in the things that you do in life is seen through the third house. Okay, and the third house is the house of hobbies. It's mainly house of things that you love doing with your hands, like art and craft and designing and sewing and fixing things. You know, some people like making those engineering aeroplanes as a hobby, like the father and son in the garage doing it on the weekend. It's all the third house. And second and third house are the most important houses in anyone's horoscope, because without these two houses, wealth cannot come. Because first of all, second house represents vocal cords. Without speaking, without ability to talk and communicate and sell something, the wealth cannot come. And second, working with your hands, working with your effort, putting your effort in there. This is why fist is represented by the third house, like you're putting your effort in something to achieve a result out of it. Okay, so that third house also represents siblings. Third house represents your younger siblings mainly. Third house represents media industry, whether it's writing, journalism, any sorts of like a beauty pageants are seen from the third house. Anything where media is related. Specifically, cinema and acting can also be seen from this because it's a house of hobby, but those are the natural fifth house things. But you can also relate them into the third house as well. Okay, so when Venus comes into the third house, first of all, these people are very artistic and crafty people because Venus represents art. It's not just love and relationship and luxurious things and pleasant things in relationship. Venus loves enjoying at colorful things. It loves to arrange things and make them beautiful. So here you can see a designer, somebody who's a skilled craftsman, painting, like Bob Ross. This also shows somebody who's good with their hands, like writing, romantic novels, because remember, Venus represents love. Okay, so you can see romantic novels from this house. Okay, Venus here can represent effort towards the artistic things that are done with hands, anything. You could be fixing a car and it's considered a type of art because it's your hobby. Okay, and here Venus can be a very good manager, especially administrative manager. A manager it could be government, but mainly an administrator of their own work. Here Venus self-efforts, okay, like to be reaping its own results. So Venus in the people with Venus in the third house will actually do better if they have their own business rather than working at somebody else, because Venus is creativity. And when Venus has to work in a job environment, the creativity shuts down because either the manager doesn't like it, the supervisor doesn't like it, or the upper management doesn't like it. Now, third house is also the house of short distance travel. And it's also the house of being awake, meaning that your ability to wake up and be energized is seen from the third house. So here, obviously, Venus gives a very pleasantful sleep, and not only sleep, but these people get easily awakened. And what do I mean by this awakened? It's not just, some people are grouchy when they wake up. People in the Venus in the third house will wake up pleasantly. They'll wake up and they're like, right, brand new day, let's see what's in the docket. But on a more esoteric level, these people can easily achieve Kundalini, meaning Kundalini awakening of your sixth sense, awakening of all the unknown seven senses that are in the chakras. And once you get those awakened, you're a completely different being. You're no longer consider yourself a human. So Venus helps achieve those things in this house. Venus is a very pleasant planet. It's a very feminine planet. So this person, whether male or female, will be surrounded by females more than male in their work life. Whenever they do their hobby, if they're, let's say their hobby is their career, like designing, fashion designing, it's a female and gay dominated society. So this person will be working with a lot of female personalities, whether even if it's a guy. Okay, I worked in New York in photography world, fashion photography, and literally half of my colleagues were gays or females. Okay, and obviously it was a cool thing. It was my greatest time of my life in New York, just a year and a half ago. But these people tend to work in more female-dominated environment, and also when it comes to love and relationship, these people usually meet their female mate or male mate in their hobby environment, in their work environment. What do I mean by that? Like close-knit gatherings where you're following your hobby or passion. So let's say you have a book club. It's your hobby. You might meet your significant other at a book club. And this is where, because it's about small, local group settings, third house, where 11th and 9th house are more of the more broader social settings. So here Venus, again, likes to be their own self-employed people, but they like to have their small little group in a local places. Now, the one thing about Venus in the third house is that these people can have sudden dramatic changes in their love life. It won't be like an easy breakup or an easy divorce that you knew was coming. There, Venus can suddenly be shocked. Like one day you walk in your home and your wife is standing there with this brown packet and says, "These are the divorce papers. I have to divorce you. I didn't tell you, and I couldn't talk to you." But then it suddenly gives a shock to this person. Or if you're dating somebody and it's Valentine's Day and you're suddenly bringing flowers and everything to them and they're standing at the door, not ready, not anything, and they're just crying and they're saying, "Look, I have to break up with you." So these sudden ups and downs comes into play because of the fact Venus is now 6th from the 8th house. 8th house represents sudden changes. And Venus is love and relationship mainly besides the other things. So 6th from the 8th, meaning that enemy of Venus is in the 8th, meaning that sudden shifts will be your actual enemy, like suddenly losing a job, suddenly losing a relationship. So you might want to watch out for that if, let's say, Venus is not well placed. Because if Venus is well placed and yet 8th house is not, Venus will be able to hold its energy there. Like it will not be able to, even if a dramatic incidents come, Venus energy will not be unbalanced by these kind of things. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis on Venus in the third house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above, and if you want to know where your Venus is placed and your other planets so you can learn more about it, check out the link below. Check out my book, Astrology at the Speed of Light, and when you get the book, I will send you a link to look at your own horoscope and your own dasha and everything, so you know yourself better when you look at my channel. And just make sure you follow the directions at the link below at astrologykrs.com. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.